Hi, my name's Emma Irwin, and this is my place in Canadian history. My great-great-grandfather, Sam Irwin, was born in Ireland. In the mid-1800s, Sam, as a young single man, immigrated from Ireland to British Guiana in South America. Why did people leave Ireland? Well, in the 1800s, environmental factors like terrible weather caused poverty, many laboring jobs opened up in other countries, and the Irish potato famine in 1845, aka the Great Hunger, swept Ireland, causing a massive death toll, which left people thinking of leaving Ireland because of the poor conditions. Sam Irwin immigrated to Guyana to run a tea plantation, as that's what the land was known for. He then married a local girl and they had 16 children. A son of Sam, John Samuel, my great-grandfather, immigrated to Canada along with 6 of his siblings in 1919. John Samuel left for a new life as well as a better quality of life, and came to Canada as they offered good jobs in English literature and publishing. Although John Samuel, when he first arrived, was not wealthy, he had no major challenges. He had his 6 other siblings who immigrated with him in Canada and spoke English, so language was not an issue. With hard work and dedication, Samuel was quite successful, in part owner of a book publishing business. But when the stock market crashed in 1929, my great-grandfather Samuel lost everything in the Great Depression. This was definitely his biggest challenge while in Canada. Another one of my relatives, Ethel Irwin, my great-grandmother, immigrated from England to Canada as a small girl with her 2 sisters and parents in 1903. In the early 19th century, many people left England due to rapid industrialization there. Machines kept replacing people, including thousands of farmers and tradesmen, and this led to unemployment, so many people opted for Canada. Before my great-grandmother immigrated, the maritime provinces attracted English initially, as there were lots of meeting sites for fishing vessels. Then in the 1830s, most immigrated to Upper Canada and Lower Canada, now known as Ontario and Quebec. Then when Ethel and her family came to Canada in the 19th century, the English preferences changed again. Now with steamships and a coast-to-coast Trans-Canada Railway, the English saw agricultural opportunities in the prairie provinces. Between 1890 and 1914, there was a large influx of English settlers because of the opening of these provinces. Here in Canada, Ethel met and married John Samuel Irwin, and they had 4 children, my grandfather, John Kenneth Irwin, being one of them. John Irwin grew up in Toronto, Canada, and served as a soldier in World War II who worked the radios during the war. He would give reports back to his camp of any important locations, or for example, if they needed more medical assistance. Thankfully, after the war, John returned home unscathed. He reunited with his wife, Ilfra Edmonds, and continued his education in engineering. Which brings me to how the Edmonds side of my father's side of my family immigrated to Canada. William Brodie Edmonds, my great-great-grandfather, was born in Canada, but went to London, England to do postgraduate work. This is where he met Elsie Edmonds. Elsie was Scottish but also went to school in England. This is where William and Elsie met. Then in the mid-1800s, Elsie immigrated back to Canada with William Brodie Edmonds. Why did they immigrate? Well, not only did William originate from Canada, but he found work here as a gardener. Elsie Edmonds immigrated because of her marriage with William. In 1761, men from Fraser's Highlanders Regiment were amongst Canadians' first Scottish settlers. Like Elsie Edmonds, most Scots left Scotland due to their own free will and paid for their travels themselves. But unlike her, the main driving force was economic self-betterment. Most immigrants planned going carefully and were highly knowledgeable on the economic advantages which Canada offered. Faced with the choice between a job in the manufacturing lowlands and immigrating, many Scots opted for a new life in Canada. Before my great-great-great-grandmother emigrated in the 1800s, emigration had been seen as a bad thing, and the Scottish government and landlords feared the loss of economic and military manpower, so they made anti-immigration propaganda to hopefully decrease immigration. Attitudes changed with the worsening economic conditions which followed the end of the Napoleonic Wars in 1816. In this new time, emigration was seen less as a threat and more as a cure for the nation's social ills.
Created using Powtoon.